Hi everyone, welcome to our Women in Power podcast series. Today I have a very special guest with me, Rafah Alkhatib. We're going to be talking about the incredible things that have been happening in the hospitality sector. And Rafa comes with a wealth of experience in innovation, in technology, and she's an absolute expert on that here in Saudi Arabia. So we're going to hear it from the woman who's done it all in this field, and we'll be sharing a few insights on what exactly it took to build the tourism and hospitality sector in Saudi Arabia for the last several years. The numbers are incredible because we have 123 million tourists in Saudi Arabia last year, and those numbers are expected to grow. So this topic is a very important one in Saudi, and we're going to take a closer dive and a closer look into this today. Welcome, Rafa. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you very much, Takmara, for having me here. It's a pleasure, actually, to be with you today and have this conversation around everything related to the giga-projects, hospitality, and the transformation that's happening today in Saudi Arabia.
Fantastic. So let's maybe start with a little bit of your story and how you ended up in this field, and walk us through maybe some of your milestones in your career and what brought you here.
So I'll start basically by looking back at my journey. Before I joining one of the giga projects in hospitality, I was building one of the earliest platform for well-being in the region, building it from the ground up, and then I joined a very early stage of the giga-projects, hospitality project. So when I look at this journey, it's always about really driving transformation. It's always about really pushing boundaries and trying to have an impact and get things done. So I joined that Red Sea Global, and when I joined, it was actually Amaala as a separate project, and then it merged under the Red Sea Global umbrella. And this is the largest project in Saudi Arabia, which is happening, and it's already live. The doors are open to receive guests, visitors. A lot of amazing experiences are happening there. So yeah, that's in a nutshell the journey.
Yeah, fantastic. So it seemed like you went from founder to being an active participant and shaping a lot of things within a larger organization. It's really interesting, I think, to a lot of people who are listening to our podcast, because very typically what I hear is people from within larger organizations, within corporate, trying to actually start their founder's career and start something of their own. How do you compare the two, and what was the most interesting part of both of these experiences to you?
There is always this let's say pivoting in the journey. Sometimes people moved from being employees in a larger corporation to establish their own business, and vice versa, and I'm probably one of those who decided to to move from being a founder to play a role in a larger organization. What's fascinating me at the early stage of that project is actually the mindset, the entrepreneurial mindset that require actually to navigate and build such a huge, massive project and be part of the team. Of course, I mean, today it's a huge ecosystem, and it's a one lifetime experience for someone to witness and participate and be in such a dynamic organization. When we say it's a hospitality project, it's basically like a country size. It's equivalent to Belgium in size when we speak about Red Sea specifically, not the other destination under the Red Sea Global or Red Sea project. So again, it's a unique experience. And it requires this entrepreneurial mindset, because we were just starting. It requires a lot of agility, ownership, commitment, the type of personality that's what it takes. It's all about moving the needle and getting things done.
Right. So actually your entrepreneurial spirit really helped to imagine and to pave that path within this incredible endeavor that Red Sea Global has taken on. Rafa, do you remember those first moments when this whole vision was introduced to you? Like, what was your first thought when people told you about this, what they're planning to build here?
So basically, I remember the early days when I was looking at the strategy deck. And it was like, I don't know, hundreds of pages speaking and detailing all the plans and the vision for what it's going to look like in 3, 5, 7, and until 2030. And I was fascinating with the massive vision. But at the same time, I like, okay, this vision really huge. But again, it's at a country level, so it should be huge, actually. So I remember, like, when I accompanied my first visit to the Amaala site, I accompanied the newly appointed COO to the location. It was untouched area. It's just the ocean and the land. And we were standing on a hill overseeing the water. And the COO was like pointing in different directions and like imagining and actually envisioning, like, this is where Four Seasons should be. This is where Rosewood. This is where Ritz-Carlton. And I was like really impressed. Okay. Now, okay, I see people from the team who really see the vision in their mind, in their head, in their imagination. And this is where we are today, actually. It's life.
So which year was that when you were introduced to this whole vision? Do you remember?
2019.
Right. So already in this fairly short amount of time, so much has happened, right? There's people coming back from Red Sea already. There's people, going there on vacation. There's so much happening.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's life. Guests are visiting, enjoying, experiencing Saudi Arabia and the Red Sea in a very really unique way.
And it's really interesting because Saudi Arabia has got a very long history of being a hospitable country, inviting thousands of pilgrims every year for, obviously, it's the land of Mecca and Medina. So it's historically been always a place where it had a lot of visitors. Now, however, they have decided to redefine and reshape this completely, and the hospitality sector is opening up to tourists who are visiting tourist attractions. Saudi Arabia's developing huge tourist destinations from scratch, pretty much, and that is exactly what you were facing as a challenge in your career. So can you tell us a little bit more about how Saudi is doing things differently than other countries?
I mean, when we speak about Saudi Arabia, yes, it's exactly what you said. It's rooted in hospitality and generosity, and it's a country where receiving guests and visitors and pilgrims from thousands of years ago. So it's rooted in the culture and it's rooted in the people. And generosity and hospitality is something that people actually practice on their daily lives genuinely. So today, the hospitality sector in Saudi Arabia, it's not really about bringing the hospitality practice from other countries and make it available in Saudi Arabia. It's actually crafting the hospitality in the Saudi flavor, Saudi culture, the Saudi way of doing hospitality. And I believe, I'm sure anyone is visiting will have absolutely unforgettable memories and unforgettable experience.
So this hospitality is really, it takes its inspiration from the culture, the heritage, but also a lot of these destinations, they're designed in accordance to the culture that stems from Islam, right? Could you speak a little bit more about that approach?
Yes, absolutely. So when we speak about experiences in general in these hospital projects, it's also anchored around wellness and around well-being. It has a very, let's say, root in our culture. Mm-hmm. And this is where Islam and Muslim actually require to be taking care of their bodies, their soul, their minds, and their well-being in general. Providing these experiences with this culture in mind is actually designing and bringing to the whole globe a new way of well-being tourism or wellness tourism, because it's cultivating the culture and cultivating the country and cultivating the value and cultivating everything that's rooted in this region.
So it's really taking care of yourself, taking care of your mind, your body. That is the objective of a lot of these experiences. There seems to be that look into the heritage, into the philosophy, the values. But at the same time, I feel like it's very intrinsically modern, very digital. So Saudi's been obviously had this clean slate of designing these experiences completely from scratch, not copying and pasting something that maybe worked elsewhere. And we see these examples everywhere. Like Riyadh Air has just launched, and they are proudly describing themselves as native digital airline. What kind of experiences have you seen that were built into that Red Sea Global experience that really kind of stood out for you and created that unforgettable experience?
So basically, absolutely, technology and digital is an enabler in designing and curating a seamless experience for any guest coming to the Saudi Arabia, and mainly to those projects. I'll probably mention one of the services that we launched in Red Sea Global, which is the seamless luggage or the smart luggage. So basically, our guest or whoever is visiting Red Sea is not responsible or he's not required to take care of his luggage. His journey, his experience started from the moment he checked into the flight, and then he will find his luggage waiting for him in the room or in the suite or in the villa. So this is where we utilize the technology to enable a more seamless experience. And there are so many other services that's digitally enabled to be seamless for the guest. Not necessarily that the guest will actually need to use the technology to get the experience, but it's all orchestrated by a sheer layer of technology that's bring this seamless experience where you don't need to worry or think about details. It's about really enjoying the moment, enjoying the journey, enjoying the experience. And we have built all of this connectivity and seamless integration to bring you the ultimate experience.
So what kind of characteristics do you think these mega projects are looking for when it comes to implementing new technologies? Or do you think that it needs to be something absolutely groundbreaking, never seen before? Or do you think it's more a bit of an incremental approach where you're just fine-tuning and tweaking those little details that matter to users?
Both scenarios, there is a venue for both scenarios for sure. But from my personal, let's say, insights, I always look into how to make an impact and improve certain aspects or certain elements. And usually these small enhancement or increment value, it really bring a new dimension for the experience. So it's not necessarily to be a breakthrough. It's really about how we understand and navigate in a better approach. So this could be a very small enhancement, a very small improvement, but it has really a huge impact on the whole journey. So both scenarios, there is a room for both scenarios, and always it depends on the use cases, it depends on the situation, and it's all about what problem we're solving or what value we're bringing.
There's one more thing that I wanted to understand about Amaala itself, because it's its own destination, and it did definitely have a different positioning and a different story. How would you say Amaala is different than, let's say, the Maldives or other popular tourist destinations? What really makes it unique?
So again, being transitioned from the project, I will not speak about specific details about the itinerary or the journey or the experience. I will speak in general about the whole hospitality experience in Saudi Arabia. The Saudi tourism or the Saudi hospitality is really anchored on everything related to the heritage, related to the culture, related to the things that exist in the region, exist in the country. It's not something we're just bringing it from outside and offering in a different location. The whole experience is actually around cultivating everything existing in the culture, existing in the country, existing in the heritage, and bringing to the global audience in a unique experience.
Going back to your experience as a founder, because you've been a founder actually very early on in this whole transformation in Saudi Arabia, right? So back in 2010, what were the experiences that happened to you that wouldn't happen now? Just to show people a perspective of how things have changed.
Yeah, actually, I always remember a story that make me laugh today. So I remember back in 10 or 11, I was going for to pitch as social media services for one of the big organizations here in Saudi Arabia. So the minute we walked into the building, I received like a remark from the person I'm meeting. He said, "You're the first woman to enter this building." I think this is it's not unimaginable scenario like this to happen today. It's actually whether on the entrepreneurial ecosystem in general or on the woman integration in the workforce in general. So today, a woman is actually working hands in hands in even most male-dominated domains like construction. So yeah, this is one of the stories that always when I think about it, I start laughing because the transformation is massive, absolutely.
And do you feel that being an entrepreneur, a female entrepreneur in Saudi Arabia now, is it difficult? Would you say that it's easier? Kind of, what is your take on female entrepreneurship here?
Absolutely, the whole ecosystem is evolving and growing and supporting female in all dimensions. I mean, I can't describe it hard or easy. It's always has this own characteristic of building something from ground up. It's all about really the agility and like the commitment really to get things done and the needle.
And if there's something that you would want to advise to young Saudis entering the workforce, would you say that they should focus more on certifications or education? Would you advise them to kind of pursue some sort of specific careers? What's the kind of golden nugget that young Saudis can get from you?
I mean, education, certification, it's a great asset for sure. And it's a great tool as well to be equipped for any one entering the workforce. But there is this element of really navigating the human being, navigate the empathy, the intelligence, the social intelligence, the understanding of how to navigate in a complex environment. This is where exactly make a difference. And always also be open for new experiences and new initiatives and new even things that you think it's out of my responsibility or it's not something that's gonna contribute to my growth in certain way. It's any experience, it's always a way to grow. So absolutely, education is important, but also social intelligence, empathy, agility, navigating the human being complexity is a key.
Do you think this set of skills that is required to be successful, whether it's in your own startup or your own company or within a larger organization, do you think this set of skills has changed since AI really stepped into our lives?
I mean, AI is another tool, correct? So, and absolutely utilizing this tool in a good way, I mean, in a practical way, is going to be a massive also help. It's gonna keep evolving and keep bringing new way of doing business or doing tasks or doing projects. Indeed, it's a tool that needs everyone to be aware and good at it and utilize it the best way he can.
There's a lot of conversation about this new Vision 2040 that's going to be like a bit of an extension of Vision 2030, or just basically it's going to be given the new direction to businesses, to mega projects, to government entities in Saudi Arabia. We obviously don't know what's in the works and what is going to be announced. We're expecting for some information to come soon. But if you had a bet to place, what would you expect to see in this 2040, vision?
With what we already seen from the transformation that happened in the last 15 years. I mean, nothing impossible. And I can imagine like literally things that we never dreamed about it to happen. Because again, it's a proven journey so far. The amount of transformation, the changes, the things that's really happening is massive. So I mean, nothing impossible.
Okay, so you think it could be really anything, and because when you heard about Vision 2030 back in the day when they announced it, what was your reaction?
It was absolutely a very like ambitious vision, but with the capabilities that's available and with the mindset that's also available, and the way the whole projects and country is dealing with. I mean, okay, it was a very, let's say, aggressive plan in 15 years to achieve such a massive vision. I was like, okay, everyone was like expecting if we reach like 50, 70, 80%, that would be great. But again, before 2030, we're actually moving faster in all directions, and the vision is just reality right now.
That's right. And you're one of those people who was actually involved in the execution of this plan. So because, you know, it's kind of easy to set a direction maybe, or to just put some things in a deck, but then the execution really is kind of where all of this matters. So what do you think was really the element that made this Saudi transformation possible? And how would you comment on this execution? Would you consider it a success? Or do you think there are still some challenges? What's where are we with this with the execution?
Yeah, absolutely. I was part of a huge ecosystem. Yeah. It's a massive number of teams like working day and night to make this happen. And when you have the right team, like everything is possible, because at the end of the day, it's all about the people who are really moving the needle and getting things done. So when you have the right team taking care of the execution, things will happen for sure. And this is the case in I mean, I witnessed so far.
So even if and would you say that there are still like some challenges with regards to, you know, implementing some of these ideas? Maybe, you know, if things have to be changed or adjusted, how do you feel about those things? Is it just a normal thing that happens with these plans, or how would you?
I mean, definitely these are very normal situations, because in a very, very, very small scale project, always changes happening, and there's always things that needs to be adjusted on the way. So definitely changes is actually the norm, because when you start doing a massive project, you're actually leaving a room for changes, and you adjust, and the agility is really what matters, because you have all the resources to move on, but at the same time you have the vision to adjust and make sure that what you're actually building is still valid and relevant.
So now we're approaching this time of kind of reevaluating a little bit, taking a step back, looking at everything that's happened so far in Saudi. I think the progress has been incredible, and especially since, you know, the announcing the announcement of Vision 2030, it's really been an incredible journey. So you're right, we can only think of what's going to happen in 2040. What I'd like to kind of leave the audience with a little bit as well is just some thoughts and final thoughts on kind of this entire journey of yours, maybe the leaders who want to join this momentum in Saudi Arabia and come to Saudi as an investor, as an entrepreneur. What kind of businesses, what kind of skills, what kind of people does this country need right now in this specific moment of its growth?
So speaking specifically about what really, where there's a gap, every place in the world, there is always this individuals who identify certain gap and jump into it. So even in a well-established project, there is always certain gaps that needs to be captured by visionaries, by innovators, by people who are seeing like, okay, what's next? And I don't see like there is any one dimension or one aspect or one industry. It's always about really capturing certain gaps. And these gaps exist because everything is evolving and we're in a dynamic world, in dynamic environment. So it's not because no one see it before, but because it's just rising as we go. Anyone who's really see like a gap, it's whether he want to jump in and build what it takes to fill in that gap, or it's already someone else taking care of. Again, the country is full of opportunities, full of ambitious projects, and like with open heart for everyone who's really want to be part of the next big thing.
Fantastic. And on your specific journey, what would you like for me to wish you specifically for the next upcoming years? So what are your personal goals that you'd like to achieve?
Actually, I would like to probably just highlight something about my whole journey. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's how you navigate all the challenges that's happening during the journey, because destination is always I see it today as a moving target, because every time you reach a certain goal, there's actually the next goal or the next station in your life, the next big thing you want to do. The legacy, the things that really matter is how the small good things that you leave and you make it happen for people around you, whether in your very energy cycle, family, friends, or in the organization. And then these small things leave it for the ripple effect to grow. And that's how I see today the journey and in my next years to come. It's about what good things that I can do and that make like this small impact on people around me, helping, supporting, leaving impact, leaving good things behind as we go and as we move in the next station that's coming in our life.
Well, thank you so much, Rafa. I'm sure that any team is going to benefit hugely from your incremental improvements and your approach. You have a wealth of experience and a lot of very interesting experiences to share. So thank you so much for joining us today, for sharing all this. And thank you so much for joining us and watching. Leave a comment, subscribe to our channel if you want to hear more of these kind of insights. And if you would like to reach out to Rafa directly, she's on LinkedIn and we'll be happy to chat with you as well. Thank you so much.